If you listen to most of the advice out there about how to get customers as a growth operator, they're either telling you to do a whole bunch of fucking outreach or they're telling you to post a whole bunch of fucking content. The problem with this is that both of these have massive negatives that are just not addressed by anybody else. And there is actually a far more efficient way to do outreach as a growth operator. So in this video, I'll be addressing the bad parts of both of these that nobody wants to talk about, and I'll be giving you the more efficient way to go about outreach. Everybody talks about sending Loom videos, everybody talks about sending a whole bunch of messages, but nobody talks about like the most difficult aspect of cold outreach: lead scraping. If you've been a growth operator for any amount of time, you know that sourcing leads, finding these fucking creators is so fucking garbage. It's so garbage and it takes so much time. So I created a software that actually just fucking does this for you. Let me show you. So what you're watching right now is my software fucking scraping leads for me. And the great thing about this is that I can set the exact parameters I want. So the parameters I set for this specific run is ecom gurus, right, that are averaging at least 1,000 views per video on YouTube, and then I have posted within the last 30 days. So those are the parameters I gave it, and now it's going on YouTube, searching the YouTube algorithm for these specific creators, cross-referencing their YouTube channel and the Instagram, and then after that, it takes that information and puts it into my tracking sheet. Let me show you my current tracking sheet to see, just so I can show you how effective this is. Look at how many leads this software has found for me. It's fucking amazing. Think about how much time you would have spent trying to find these leads yourself. Now, if you see like these red marks, these are just duplicates, because sometimes it does find duplicates, but I already have a code in there to be able to flag them as duplicates and kind of like not find them again. But this is just one sheet. I actually have two sheets. As you can see, this is me just doubling down on the trading niche. If we go over here to cold outreach clean sheet, we can see that I have almost 800 leads scraped. It's ridiculous, right? Think about how much time you would have spent trying to find all of these leads. But we're not done yet, because yes, I've solved being able to find thousands of leads in like a matter of hours. But what about when it's time to outreach to these people? Because we both know that sometimes, and this is just me being honest, I'm pussy. Sometimes I don't want to fucking send a cold outreach message. But what if I told you this software can actually send these messages for you? Let me show you. Now, what you're watching is the software quite literally going on a tracking sheet, clicking their Instagram link, finding their Instagram account, typing the intro message, and then sending it for them. Now, full transparency, I do have to click the send button, because if this pressing send is automated by the software, then Instagram will recognize that and then flag it, and then my Instagram account will get taken down. But think about how much time I just saved myself, because not only can it do it for new outreach messages, but it can also do it for follow-up messages. So the way I set up my software and my tracking sheet is that it constantly reads, okay, where is this lead in the pipeline, and does it need to get sent a new outreach message, or does it need to get sent a follow-up message? And then it just generates a message for me, and all I have to do is sit here and press send. Now, I already made a tutorial on how to set everything up, but if I'm being honest, what I give on YouTube is literally just like 10 to 20% of what I know, because if you go out there, watch a tutorial and try and set it up for yourself, what's going to happen is, because you don't have the specific code I have for the skills and my Claude MD file, what's going to happen is that your Instagram account is going to get banned, or the scraper is not going to work properly, or you're going to start to scrape really unqualified leads. So what I'm doing right now is that you can actually install the exact software I'm using right now onto your computer. I'll just do it for you. If you're interested in that, go ahead and scroll down on this video, book a demo call, so I can just demonstrate this whole entire software for you, and then get it integrated into your system as a growth operator, just to make your life a whole bunch easier. But now that we have kind of like the process for scraping and outreach ironed out, what are the specific messages that we are supposed to be sending out to these creators? Let me show you. As far as the messages, it doesn't have to be that fucking complicated, right? You guys have a tendency to just overcomplicate shit, and when you overcomplicate it, it's really just cope for not taking action. So the process for messaging is super fucking easy. First message is always yo, right? The reason why is because Instagram is a very casual place, right? You don't want to be like, oh, I can guarantee you, I can make you blah, 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 blah. No, you look fucking stupid, bro. You look too, no, just chill out, relax, right? Just send a simple yo, right? After that, they are going to fucking ghost you. Most people are probably going to read this and just leave you unseen. That's why follow-up is so important. That's why when you look at my tracking sheet, right, you see that I follow up with people 7 times before I just give up on them, right? So that's something that you do have to take into consideration, that for each stage, right, there are pretty much 7 points of follow-up, right, before I just give up on moving this person to the next stage, right? After you send this message and then you follow up, right, until they actually respond, all you have to do is send a voice note, not a fucking text message. Send a voice note that says something along the lines of this. And I'll tell you why you want it to be this here in a second. Yo, you're absolutely killing it with the content. You've been all over my feed. You obviously know what you're doing. You're obviously making a fuck ton of money. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like you're not. But I've been looking through your funnel, and there are just a couple of things that I noticed that could be fixed. These are such low-hanging fruits that you can literally fix today and increase your revenue. Like I said, you're already making a fuck ton of money. It's just that these things are so simple, it makes no sense to not have them fixed. I went ahead and made you a quick 2-minute video breaking down exactly what these things are. Is it cool if I send it over? Right, so the basic structure is, number one, you gotta think, okay, keep in mind, like, a lot of these creators that you're reaching out to, they're fucking egotistical because they're making a fuck ton of money. They have a lot of followers. Their ego is high as shit. So when you send like this loom, you want to start off with like just stroking their ego just a little bit. That's what this part is. Yo, you're absolutely killing it. You've been all over my feed. You obviously know what you're doing, right? This part right here is obviously like really important. You're obviously making a fuck ton of money. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like you're not. That's really important, because if you walk up to somebody that's making like 50 grand a month, right, pretend like they're not making money, and you're just poor as shit, you look like a fucking idiot. You don't want to do that, right? So you're obviously making a fuck ton of money. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like you're not, right? But I've been looking through your funnel, and there's just a couple of things that I noticed that could be fixed. So this is just hinting at effort, right? These are such low-hanging fruits that you can literally fix today, increase your revenue. This is like the low-hanging fruit part is really important, because it's showing that, hey, this is not really something that's going to take a lot of work. Like, you probably just notice this. Now, you might be thinking there's like, well, you want them to hire you. Well, you're trying to move too far into the pipeline stage, right? Right here, the purpose of this message is just to get a response. The purpose of this message is just to get them to agree to send you a loom. The purpose of the loom is to create desire for you. And then the purpose of booking a call or getting on call with you is to actually get them to hire you. What happens and where you guys fuck up on outreach is that you try to get them to want to hire you on the fucking like the earliest message. But like think about it like creating a fucking landing page, right? When you're writing a headline, the purpose of a headline is just to get them to read the subheadline. The purpose of the subheadline is just to get them to watch the VSL. It's like you have to do it stage by stage. Each stage is supposed to get the person to move on to the next stage, not the next 4 stages. You get what I mean, right? So, blah, 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 blah. So, I went ahead and made you a quick 2-minute video breaking down exactly what these things are. Is it cool if I send it over? And again, they might leave you on read, they might leave you on seen, right? But you follow up. Remember, 7 points of follow up between messages, right? Until they fucking tell you to stop, block you, or they agree, right? After they agree, you send them the loom. Now, remember, the purpose of the loom is to try to get them to, have genuine desire in working with you or create interest, right? I would show you my loom, but you guys are fucking bots, and if I just show you my loom, you're just gonna copy it, and then my loom structure is gonna be fucking cooked. But basically what you want to think about is like, number one, you actually want to put an effort. You actually want to go through this person's funnel. You actually want to opt into their funnels, right? Like for a lead I'm working on right now, I went through his funnel, and then his sales rep took fucking 3 hours to call me after opting in. So right now, that was the core message of the Loom video. It's like, hey, your sales reps are fucking up. Why is it taking them 3 minutes to fucking answer to dial a fresh lead? And then now all my follow up, right? Because he left me on scene, right? And this morning he finally replied. But all my follow up is like, yo, your sales rep took 3 hours to fucking dial my phone, right? And they haven't reached back out to me after that. blah, 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 blah. And it's just like you want to find actual value that you can give to create that desire and then get them to book a call. And then once you book a call, it's very easy, right? You just close them. Super simple, super easy, right? I hope that makes sense. But what about content? Because I did mention this at the beginning of the video. Now, the way people are looking at content right now, as far as growth operating, they're looking at it as like the best way to get clients, right? Which it is. Trust me, I have a dialed in content system on Instagram, right? That I kind of turned off right now because I'm doubling down on YouTube, right? I'll show you my Instagram real quick. As you can see, my Instagram account is pretty dialed. Like I have videos with high views, high views. I get a lot of opt-ins from a lot of coaches, right? But as somebody who has played the content game to its extent, what you're going to realize about content is that it's very unpredictable. You cannot predict when your next client is going to come from content. It is an unpredictable growth engine. That's why you see everybody that has scaled with like organic content eventually goes into cold acquisition. You can look at it with Iman, you can look at it with Brez, you can look at it with there's the black ecom guy. Everybody eventually adds a cold acquisition system because they understand that because of how unpredictable content is, you cannot build a reliable business off of it. The mentality you should have with content is, yes, it's very important. Yes, when leads come through your content, they're very warm, very easy, lay down deals, but you cannot build a business relying on organic content because it's unpredictable. That's why you need to have organic content, but have a cold acquisition source that's extremely predictable. Because when you have both put together, right, it's so much easier because your organic content warms up people from your cold acquisition source. And your cold acquisition source pretty much takes away the unpredictability of organic content. Right? Like I said, I put a big pause on my Instagram because I'm doubling down on YouTube. I have like this long-term YouTube strategy that I'm taking into effect. That's why you see like my views on YouTube slowly start to inch up and inch up and inch up. And they will continue to do so because my strategy is extremely effective, right? But that's how you have to fucking think about it. That essentially sums up everything, but I want to put this out there. In no way, shape, or form am I guaranteeing any type of result, but what I am guaranteeing is that it's a lot easier to outreach to people when like 90% of your time is not spent scraping leads. It's a lot easier to outreach to people when you don't have to put in so much thought into each message and you don't have to waste time clicking on each individual Instagram account. It's a lot easier to follow up with people when it can be done automatically by a software, right? That's what I'm guaranteeing, right? So like I said before, if you want to book a demo call for this software, you can go ahead and click the link in the description. But it doesn't matter how effective your cold outreach is or how good you are at organic content. If you allow the fear of failure stop you from doing the things that you know you should be doing. Luckily for you, I just posted a video that breaks down exactly how you can remove this fear permanently. Go ahead and click this video right here to watch it.